And no, it's fine. She when she grew into her face, as you do, her face grew crooked. So they had to cut her jaw and fix it. With a saw. That's all I want to know. There's a saw involved. But I didn't know that you grew into your face until my mom lovingly told me, well, like you grew into your nose. Didn't know I had a nose to grow into, but now I do. I also didn't know that I'd have to have the conversation with my mom trying to convince her that I have inverted nipples. I never thought I'd have to whip one of them out and be like, why would I lie about that? And her be like, yeah, they're like 2 tiny volcanoes. Yeah. No, I love my mom. She's my hero. I'm actually really lucky to have a family that's super supportive of what I do, because as y'all know, I'm not super PG. Even my grandma, she watches all my videos on the internet, and she's really supportive. The only word she does not like is cunt. She doesn't like that. And I'm sure most of you, your buttholes just went like, oh! I really like it, but for me to rein it in, because it does shock a lot of people, someone shared this with me, and I'll share it with you, because it's brilliant. I think in life you get 5. At the end of the day, when you kick the bucket, you get 5. They can be boys, they can be girls, you can add, subtract, you get 5 cunts. Me, for example, I'm 20, I have 2. And my grandma hates it, and she's like, that's foul! How do you get on the cunt list? Off the top of my head, just not naming any names, if you're a homewrecker and ruin a family, you get on the list. And if you're in Europe and on your last night you disappear in Barcelona for 6 hours, blow a guy, you lose your social security card, passport, and credit card, you're gonna get on the list. Not naming any names, just hypothetically. So, speaking of cunts, I love kids. I do. I'm the oldest of 15 grandkids, which is super, super fun. And I was hanging out with my little cousin the other day in Texas, and we were, having a deep convo. She's 6, sharing ideologies. And she looks at me and she goes, I went to Six Flags the other day and I saw a guy who had cancer. So I asked, how did you know? And she goes, he fell down. Doctors have been misdiagnosing for years. You fell down, call your mom, and clock is ticking. So, that's awesome. Have you, I'm just doing a survey. Have any of you been so depressed that in your catatonic state you go to a grocery store and slip a chicken tender in your sleeve? Walk out of the store with it? Me neither. Crazy! Every time I masturbate, I think, hey, yeah, girls masturbate. Every time I masturbate, midway, I always think that every person I know who has died is looking down on me. That's how bonkers self-involved I am. Absolutely insane. They have better things to do if they're up there. So speaking of this inappropriate theme, this summer I had my first real talk pregnancy scare. I was 3 weeks late, oh shit. Yeah, oh shit. And I go to my mom and I'm crying, and me and my sister and I all waddle in a train to Target, get the test, and hand it to the lady. And this poor 17-year-old girl pretends she doesn't see it. It's like, I don't know the protocol. What do you say? Good luck? I don't know the protocol. And so go home. The next day I come back with my father. And he obviously doesn't know anything about me or my vagina. So we go to the store and we have the same lady. And Luckily, I make eye contact with her, and we speak telepathically. And I say to her, listen, this is my dad. Don't say anything. And she looks at me and she goes, okay. She doesn't say anything, because what is she going to say? Your daughter's a splooge monster, and also she's a Target red card? But I thought we were sisters. I thought we'd shared a moment and were bonded for life. And the next day, I go back to Target with my sister, because I live there. And we check out with the same girl, because she owns it, apparently. And she's there, and I couldn't help myself. And I was like, hey, the other day I came in, bought a pregnancy test, next day came with my dad. You didn't say anything, and that was pretty cool. And she pretended not to know me. We were sisters. On a totally unrelated note, I was at Planned Parenthood the other day, and I went with my friend Sydney, who you met earlier this evening, and I went with Abby. Raise your hand, babe. There she is. And, because, you know, we gotta stick together. I was super hungover on my birthday. I go to Planned Parenthood. We're all taking trips and turns, puking in the Planned Parenthood bathroom after we walk through security, which you have to do. So we're in this Planned Parenthood, and we have to wait an hour and a half before I see a physician. And in my, foggy state, I slowly start to understand what music is playing. Is it too late now to say sorry? I'm thinking, if you're in the Planned Parenthood, it is. Too late. So we were waiting, and then they finally called my name, and it was like the spotlight came. And I told my two friends, because I could only take one back, I was like, rock, paper, scissors for it, which I thought was appropriate, just for, the holiday we were celebrating. And we go back there, and Abby goes with me, and I stir up, and she holds my hand. And we're trying to talk real cash, like this isn't a thing. And Peggy comes in, that's her name, Peggy. And she comes in with her little cart of shark things. And she gets to business. And at first I'm like, oh, I had a woman here before, whatever. I'm not getting an abortion, I'm getting birth control. You all can like, I was getting an IUD, which for those playing at home, it is a copper thing they shoot past your cervix. The cervix is the muscle that dilates when you have a baby. It's a muscle. It's not just like a doorway. So Peggy gets a cracking, and I'm fine and whatever, and then she actually does it, and my pass out, lights out, it's over. I passed the fuck out in the Planned Parenthood. And after that thunderous wave of convulsions, Abby freaks out because my body goes slow. And she looks at the business end to see what the fuck went wrong, and she starts seeing these red, bloody needles coming out of me, and she hits the floor. Don't drink whiskey before you go to Planned Parenthood. She wakes up in a bundle of my pants, and we have juice boxes and animal crackers. Long story short, I'm not pregnant.